Welcome to another episode of the iConis podcast. We're doing something a little different. We're doing something different. We're going to talk about things that we watch and what we read, what we like. Yes, something like that. We still trying to figure out the best concept. But we're going to talk about things that we watch and just get a little into it. What we're going to talk about right now? Universal Soldier. Yeah, you remember that. Universal Soldier. Can we get into it?
Yes, we can. Those credits.
Bro.
Hey everyone, welcome back again to the iConis podcast. And we're trying another section here, because we want to expand and reach as many people we want to reach. And we want to talk about as many things we like to talk about. And this is what captures us, and we like to share that with you. So this is the iConis podcast. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. Don't let the show be a secret. One of your hosts, Barry 3D. On my side is
DJ Rod C. Yes. Let's go.
And we are joined by, or we're joined with
Larry
Recklessato. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. And real quick, we're going to go around where we can find each other. So one, you can find me at barry3d.com. Check that out. You can find all my stuff that's coming up. Thank you for tuning in. Rod, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Mr. Rod C, MRRODC. Find me there.
Perfect. And Larry, where can we find you?
Facebook, Forgotten, Obscure, Underrated, Comic Characters page. Come, sign up, and make sure you say yes to the rules.
Okay, I was going to set Luke Cage on you. If you saw that comic ad, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, and of course, thank you very much once again to the one and only who hooks us up with makes us look so pretty. The man we talk of is
Jaybird Digital Art.
Mr. Jason Reese, Jaybird Digital Arts. You let him know you heard about him on the iConis podcast, and he'll give you a discount on the work. Okay, here we go. So as you saw in the opening, we're talking about what we watch. And what we watch is Universal Soldier. Yes, that Universal Soldier was Jean-Claude Van Damme. Okay, now once again, when that movie first came out, that movie was really interesting. That movie made its appearance in 1992, and it had Jean-Claude Van Damme, it had Dolph Lundgren, and what caught my eyes, because I like to go around in style. Not that I say I afford it, but I hope to dream that way. They had what I thought was the super RV. It was a 18-wheeler or multi 18-wheeler semi truck with a whole lot of tech inside of it. It was black. It looked like Goliath from Knight Rider, but it was stuck to the rims. And that's that, right. Then that's what got me. And I'm like, oh, so first of all, these guys are Universal Soldiers. Their costumes with the desert colors, the eyepiece on that, and the story of how it started off. Now, here's a couple of things that I will say similarities between why I'm talking about on this show and why I brought it to you guys, and you guys can let me know your opinions. One, Jean-Claude Van Damme, he's a certain height. Dolph Lundgren is a lot taller. And they're both super soldiers. Well, when was the last time I had a height difference of super soldiers? Well, one was called Logan, the other one was called Creed. I'm talking Wolverine and Sabretooth. Are we that far off? Did they copy and paste what those two were doing for years? Well, let's go back, right? Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren were both in a particular war, and then one turned on the other because Dolph Lundgren's character goes a little bit crazy, and Jean-Claude Van Damme's character is like, you've gone too far, I need to stop you. And then, of course, he takes a kick. They both pass away, and then they get reanimated, brought back to life as super soldiers because they signed the waiver, they signed the fine print, and they didn't read it on the waiver when they signed up to be part of the military. Okay, now, if you're an MCU fan, then obviously you've heard the term super soldier before, and you've watched Captain America, super soldier, Black Panther, let's call it what it is, super soldier, The Incredible Hulk, super soldier serum, super soldier. So everything in the MCU phase 1, phase 2 has pretty much been super soldier driven, and still is. Okay, so you're trying to tell me Universal Soldiers, not super soldiers? I think they are. Of course they are. They are faster, stronger, feel no pain, and are easier to control. And aesthetically, they look cool. For 1992, it was a cool looking thing between the costumes, the truck, the scientist, and the mission, and then it all breaks down. And every time I watch this movie, even originally when it came out, I was thinking, man, that's Wolverine and Sabretooth. Copy paste. That's a story.
Yep.
If you remember, Wolverine Origins might not have been the greatest movie to watch, but They did a lot of similarities. Okay. Gentlemen, what do you think of this movie now that we got our creative juices kind of flowing?
Okay. Well, although it's not a great movie, it is a decent movie. The concept been done death back and forth. But yeah, you're right. A lot of Wolverine and Sabretooth to that. I didn't put that together the first time I watched, but I saw it later.
Right.
Did like the costumes. Um, the quote unquote female lead actually was rather decent. The whole concept of them actually overheating in the situation because they're dead, they're corpses. Let's face it, they're zombies. They're zombies being controlled by the U.S. military, and um, the mind wipe concept that's been done to death, but it actually worked in this case. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would have never given the movie a. I mean, I have a scale, basically A, B, C, D. I would have
Right.
gave it maybe a C plus, but
Yeah.
hey, it's a nice afternoon.
Yeah.
Now
It is.
sequels, let's not even talk about those.
Right. And this is why I'm talking about it today. Okay. So we're on the first movie. There's a sequel. Yeah. Before we dive into that. So, Rod, what was your takeaway from?
I mean, I agree with Larry. It was a good movie. It was a decent movie at the time. One of those like fillers at the time. It's like, oh, it's action. It's Jean-Claude, the muscle from Brussels. Mr. Mighty Super Splits. That guy. And then you got Dolph. From Rocky Days, and he's just like the tall, towering, giant. But
He-Man.
He-Man, exactly. Can't wait for the next one to come out. Um, but the movie itself, right? There's so many tropes. This thing had tropes, coming up the wazoo. But these tropes weren't so bad that you can like say, you know what? I can accept um, you know, dying, regenerating your body and your your DNA and just bring you back to life, put you as you're a working killing machine, aka Terminator. um, you know, similarities, but I wouldn't mind watch like if it came on right now. Honestly, I won't even lie. If it came on, I actually watched the first one. Yeah, the sequels I like no. I got to be really got nothing to do. I am fighting sleep and I need a reason to stay up for the next hour because I got to leave to go pick up something or pick up somebody. If I fall asleep now, I'm not picking them up at the airport and I need to be awake for the next hour. That's the only reason why I'm seeing the sequels. But
Okay.
you'll catch me on the first one.
All
Okay,
right.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. See, and look, the first one, I was all into it. I know when they came out with the sequel, I know that there's two
Yeah.
different sequels. There was one sequel that didn't have Jean Claude
Yeah.
Van Damme, and there was another
Yes.
sequel that came out that had Jean Claude Van Damme fighting Michael J. White. And I'm like, okay, okay, So let's go back to the first one. The first
Yeah.
one, like the costumes, there's five
Sequels. Yeah.
sequels.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, guy.
oh man! I think I bought Universal Redemption. I think it was one of them. So,
Well, you
For
return,
generation.
regeneration,
uh,
Day of
Day of
Reckoning.
Reckoning,
right,
Universal Soldiers for Two Brothers in Arms,
okay.
Universal Soldiers 3 Unfinished Business.
Yeah. So
Because
in the
I
sequence,
know,
yeah, in the sequence is Brother in Arms, Universal 2, Brother in Arm, Universal 3, Unfinished Business. Then you get the Universal The Return. That's the one I believe is with Jean Claude. Then it came with Universal Regeneration. I guess a revamp and a newer twist on it,
right,
2009, and then Universal Day of Reckoning, 2012. I
okay.
don't even remember the last one. Holy,
I,
really?
I I know I have one of them downstairs in my collection, and the reason I picked it up is because one, it was Jean Claude Van Damme, and then the
Yeah.
other actor that was in there was, oh my gosh, I just forgot his name.
It's Scott
Uh,
Atkins?
Scott Atkins.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Scott Atkins. And I'm thinking that man has a whole lot of bad, like wicked, right, like martial art wise.
Yeah.
So here's a couple of things I'm thinking about. Like, okay, let's forget the sequels,
Yeah.
please. Let's stick with the first one. I know my heart broke when they destroyed the truck at the very end. I thought the truck was really cool, and when they got rid of it, I was like, oh, when they took him out of the costumes, I mean, like, oh, I want it. So here's my thing. Do I like Universal Soldier? Clearly, I'm talking about it because I still like the very first one. I like the concept. I
Mm.
liked everything behind it. I might probably because I'm more on the cheesier side. I would rate it higher than the two of you would rate it because it just fits my. I mean, look, we talked about Planet of Vampires. Okay, so here's my thing. I would love to see this come back. Forget the sequels, off the first movie with the same costumes, all that. And once again, give me a video game. I want a video game,
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
right? Like a video game, but with a real good story. I want a video game with some of the past, some, in between stuff before we got to the ending we did here in this movie. So I want to play Jean-Claude Van Damme or Dolph Lundgren. You know what I mean? And we got Rainbow, you got Rainbow Six, you got Call of Duty, you got the Hitman series, you
Yeah.
got Splinter Cell, right? Give
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah. Like I'm a huge Splinter Cell fan. Give me a video game style like that with the gameplay, with some stealth in it, some action in it, but let him uncover other parts of the story that they weren't able to fully explore in an hour and a half, like in 92 minutes. I think the movie was like 92 minutes or an hour and 45. Oh, that's accidental, man. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. So yeah, Universal Soldier, an hour and 42 minutes. Give me that. Especially that you have a reporter that's in the storyline. Maybe this reporter could have a little bit more of a backstory of her trying to uncover what's going on, or maybe a different reporter. Let him work with maybe a scientist that was just trying to bring certain things to light.
Mm.
The fact that they brought back Jean-Claude Van Damme's character, his parents were still around. They're trying to intertwine all that, and I want to play the character on some missions, like straight out, just infiltrate here as a Universal Soldier. So you're stronger, faster, you have a healing factor, but you have a time limit because if you start to overheat, if you overexert
Right.
yourself, so give it a gauge that you got to stay
Yeah,
between to play it out. I know I'm a huge video game person, right?
yeah.
I know you guys, right? Yeah, Larry, you're so. Rod's played his games, right? But
Yeah.
I would love to see this come back as a video game. I don't need a sequel in movies. It's either two things: give me a video game or give me a limited series by Boom Studios, the same ones that do Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because I feel they have a good grasp on 80s properties, followed by Dynamite Comics.
I don't know. I give
Okay.
it to Boom Comics and have Mark Waid do it, but that's just me.
Okay, see? Mic drop. There we go. Larry's 2 for 2. He's killing us today. But there we go. Yeah, Boom Comics, because if you read Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that
Mm.
they're doing, they've taken that series and they've added so much more. They've expanded on the lore, they've dived down in the lore, and they've actually done fan service by giving us a lot more of things that they touched on in the live action series with the original team, right? So we're talking, Jason, Trini, Tommy, Zach, oh my God, Billy, and who am I
Billy
missing? Pink Ranger is Kimberly.
and Billy.
Yeah, and Billy, right? And thank you. And they're going down there. So they're not just keeping them as kids. They've made them age and grown and have their own kids and married and all that, but
Hmm.
still tied to Power Rangers. So
Mm.
I want to see something more along those lines, shakers and movers. I don't want a reboot. I know I say at times, please don't give me a reboot. And I'm not looking for a reboot. I'm looking for expansion.
Yeah.
Or if you
Yeah.
had to do it, as you did said before, Larry, give me an R-rated cartoon, bring back the original cast to do the voice work.
It's still around.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. But I need the truck. I need those outfits in areas of conflict. Give me something in the jungle. Give me a mission in the jungle. Give me a mission, an urban mission where they have to be in the city hunting something down, but they can't be caught because there's supposed to be black ops too. So
yeah.
yeah. All right, and
As
that's
far
that's
as
my two
the
cents.
as far as the guys who are like directing and so on of that, if you're
Yeah.
doing, and I like the idea of an animated series, bring the guys who do gargoyles.
Listen, I thought I saw somewhere. Oh, anyway, let me not talk about gargoyles. So, let me let that one breathe. Let me let that one breathe.
Uh-huh. His mind's blown. But yeah, there we go. That's all I wanted to talk about, guys. Is this? I
Okay.
think it's a cool thing to watch. Go back. I'm curious what people would say.
Hmm.
We can. What's your last words? We don't have to go too long on this. We can wrap this up. But I just wanted to share that overall thought with you to kick off this kind of get the feel of some of the stuff we watch. And I mean, it doesn't have to be Oscar worthy. I'm telling you for myself, it won't be. I'm
Yeah.
cheesy, but it
No,
does make my
it
gray
makes
matter
it
go even beyond.
hilarious. Hilarious. No, I'm good. I mean, yes, Universal Soldier is one of those. I don't know if I will call it a cult classic,
Right.
but anybody from that generation, if have you watched it? I'm sure people will say yes. Would you watch it again? I'm sure there's still enough. There's a high percentage of people that say, you know what? If it came on, yeah, I'll watch it. Yeah, like I said, it was one of those niches back then. You had your classics. Again, it was. I just had a thought. It had that 80s feel of the Expendables, where the Expendables brought in all your classic guys back from one last Ruha kind of scenario. Soldier, yes, you only had two, but it's the type of names I was saying. Jean Claude and Dolph get moving together. Oh, I gotta watch that. Like that, those are the pairing that will make you say, "I will." You know what? Yeah, I'll watch you guys again. I'll watch you guys again. So yeah,
Bring back the truck.
bring back the truck.
That's right. That's all I want to say. I want to do missions where I can run back to the truck and use the truck as transport and store my weapons, get my weapons and outfits and upgrade it, and then go on to the next one. Bring back the truck. All right. Any last words there, Larry?
Uh, I don't know. I think you're right. Plus, you got all the toys. That's what you want. You want the toy. I know
Just once
you,
or
Barry.
twice. That's all
I
I
know
want.
you, Barry. All right. Anyway, hey guys, keep
Truth.
reading, keep writing, keep drawing. You guys are creators yourselves.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh! And Larry, you're 100% right. I do want the toys. I want the collectible figures. I want someone to make it. And okay, and that's why I want the video game too. So remember this. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. Don't let the show be a secret. You can find us on Patreon and also on Coffee, wherever you want to help us make the show grow. And of course, what makes the show grow is like, subscribe, and share. Turn your notifications on. Don't let the show be a secret. This has been the Iconis podcast. Um, this whole world's created by a pencil, a piece of paper, and lots of imagination. Keep on dreaming. We're out.
Beep, beep,
Iconis
beep.
Rewind.
Awesome.
I do
Okay.
want the truck.
I know you do. Yeah, and you're gonna put it on your GI Joe big um aircraft carrier, aren't you?
Yeah.
USS
This is
Flag.
still recording, right? This part we ain't ending till like after this. This is part of the recording. I just know that for sure. He's like, this is not playing. And we'll see you guys later, right? Cut. That part
Oh
had to be.
All
man,
right.
gentlemen, thank you so
No one
much for putting up my.
like, you know what? That's not stopping. We can't stop that. Yeah, this part will be still part of the end credits.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Hey, that's
For
fine.
sure. That had to be.